Hey guys, welcome back to 5nothing100nothing.com. I am Fugget, the fittest underdog guru using intelligent tactics. Okay guys, today I want to talk to you about problems with the red pill. Okay, so if you're familiar with red pill movement, philosophy, way of life, whatever you want to call it, okay, I've noticed through digging deeper and deeper and looking at the community, the basis of it, and everything else, and what it seems to be producing in its loyal followers, or those that have decided to take the red pill. Okay, now in my videos and whatnot, I'll tag MGTOW and other things, men going their own way, and it's funny how when you decide to do something, right? Like, what's the joke about people that do paleo diets or CrossFit? It's like, how do you know when somebody does CrossFit and paleo? And the joke is they'll tell you. So, or somebody converts to a religion, and all of a sudden they want to tell, everybody, about, this is the truth, and this is, why you should change your life right now, and they get very fanatical. And I see the same thing with red pill. So, to set a backdrop here, like, red pill basically is helping men, right, and telling them, how the truth of the world works, right? Now, the first problem with that is we all know everybody is different, and everybody either has different sets of moral codes, values, and things they want in their life. And so to try to generalize everything and put like all women into one category, saying that every woman is a liar, a cheater, or steps out on you, or is hypergamous, or wants to trade up, it's not your time, it's just your turn, stuff like that, that they're unfaithful, or they're out to either hurt you or give you a shit test or break you down. Well, it's all bullshit. And the thing is, everybody's different. And I've been in many relationships in my life, and there is a lot of difference between each one of those relationships, and what my experiences were. With each one, I grew. With each one, I took something, or I took that gift that they had, whether it was a good or bad thing, but it was a lesson, and it made me better and stronger. And I learned, right? And, you've got to, if you do have the desire to be in a relationship, in a committed relationship, and, to be, for you, that makes you happy. You want a partner, all these things, right? Because if you want a family one day, if you want children, if you want, somebody to be your helpmate, so to speak, then, living hardcore red pill is not going to work for you, because you're going to doubt everything that a woman tells you, or you're going to assume you know everything about her based on this philosophy. So it's all it is really self-limiting for yourself if you do desire to have more than just hookups, or have plates to spin, or any of these things, right? And I think when I look deeper into those that are, really strongly advocating, and, say they took the red pill and they, their lives changed and everything. If you listen long enough, and you instead of just dismissing it, because I like to dig deep and peel off layers of the onion to see what's really going on with, each individual, those that have, not necessarily the biggest platform, but those who like to continue to push the narrative and say that if you're not taking it, that you're weak, or you're, a beta, and you're going to let a woman tell you what to do, and this and that. Well, let's dig back. Let's dig a little deeper. Now, from my perspective, this may be popular, it may not. I really don't care. Okay? But I see a lot of these red pill guys. I think it's rooted in them getting hurt. They've been either taken advantage of, or they once wanted to be in love and they got hurt. And it's interesting because there's like the idea of merging and sharing, give and take, that comes with any relationship. I don't care if it's your boss and your job, your career, your friendships, whatever it is, there's a give and take. There's deals made, whether spoken or unspoken, there's negotiating. And without that, you're not going to have a healthy relationship, I remember one time, I think I shared this before in another podcast, that I was complaining about a breakup, and this girl that I was in love with, and she didn't do this, she didn't do that, she was this, whatever. And it was just rooted in my hurt and how things, had went down at the end. And my cousin, who's definitely a red pill guy, but maybe he's not, because he looks at me and he just smiles. He goes, "You're not a picnic either, pal." And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm just sitting there in my glass house throwing stones, So the problem is, I feel, for a lot of these red pill guys, are that they didn't have proper boundaries set for themselves, And when you don't know like who you are, what you want, and you change or give or compromise too much of yourself because you go with the flow, because you don't have a strong position, you don't know who you are, you don't know how to convey that to the other person, then this is when you're going to have problems, right? Or whenever she decides that she wants something or somebody else other than you, then it's easy to take the position of being the victim, and that all women are this, because this has been my experience, right? And then other guys that have had similar experiences, yeah, that's me too. And there's a comfort there in building this community and justifying, why things happen the way they did. And it gives a complete lack of ownership of your ability the whole time to have boundaries and to walk away if you realize that the terms of agreement for the relationship were not going to work for you. There's no reason to be butthurt. There's no reason to get angry, resentful, bitter, and become a little troll. There's no reason for that at all. It's simply that the other person, who is free thinking, has free will, has decided for one reason or another that they don't want to be with you, okay? It doesn't mean that they're just trying to vine swing and trade up, right? I mean, there's reasons why, Hollywood produces the romance, the love movies, the Bachelor, Bachelorette stuff is so popular, because women want to feel unconditionally loved and accepted. And when there's things going on in your relationship, or when you start dating somebody and, those pieces aren't there for her for whatever reason it is, she has the right, just like you have the right to walk, and that's where you have to be honest with yourself, and you love in such a way, as Corey Wayne says, that you can love the person, and if they want to go, they can go. But it's nothing that is, super, I don't know how to say it, but like real personal, meaning like they didn't have an agenda to hurt you. Of course there's women and there's men that play games and maybe are disingenuous about their reasons for wanting you in their life for a period of time, but that's something you don't know. It's all a risk, and life is short. And I think when you're doing the things for yourself, to be yourself, be you, and work on those things that you can control, which is figuring out who you are, what you want, setting up your life the way you want it, and realizing that if you have the desire to be in a committed relationship, a long-term relationship, maybe marriage, whatever, that you have the right to do that. You have the right to feel the way you do. You don't have to dismiss your feelings and your soft side or your emotions just because you could get hurt. That's no way to live your life. You're never going to be happy that way. And you'll find a way to justify, your pain and a lack of growth as far as getting what you want, which is the relationship, assuming that that's what you want. And it's, you know, you have the right, just like she does, to walk, to go find somebody or something that they feel or you feel is more compatible with you and who you are. So with every relationship you learn, you know, you grow. It's your choice to do that. You can be bitter from it or you can be better. And I just think that the problem here is that, you know, when you've had a set of experiences, you're going to look through that lens. And, you know, like they say about stereotypes, you know, we do it, our brain does it to make sense of the world and to avoid pain in the future and to have to get pleasure. So one of the problems I noticed with like dating culture hookup is that everyone is an individual, and as soon as one thing goes a little haywire, they lack the ability to communicate and, you know, be honest about their feelings in a way that's not like supercharged or taking a position of offense, but seeking to understand. That's the problem is, you know, work on yourself. Don't worry and don't go chasing people or chasing love. Love will find its way to you when you're ready and you're in a good place to where you're in love with yourself and you're in a good place emotionally, spiritually, physically, all of these things, right? And it's never perfect. There's no blueprint for this. There's no, you know, order of steps to take to get to a good place. And you know, the world is chaotic. There's a lot of variables there. There's a lot of baggage on your part or their part. And I think when you sit back and you really do the work on yourself, it's then and only then that you're going to be able to realize like what you want, who you are, and find somebody that you're going to enjoy and find a lot of happiness in merging your life with. What are the things you will compromise on? You know, what are the things that are your deal breakers? And knowing those things going in, or if you're already in something, figuring it out, and then either agreeing to disagree on certain things and other things, either for yourself or her, being a deal breaker, and just be honest about that. So I may get some hate for this. I'm always open to discussion, and, you know, you could take the position you want. For some of you, I hope it's liberating and that you realize that, you know, the world doesn't always work on a simple system or philosophy. And you've got to really know yourself and your philosophy and give and take to be able to make it work with a partner. Okay? Like, share, subscribe. Keep the conversation going. Take care, you guys. I'll talk to you again soon.